This is the URT. You are the URT. Big up the URT. Welcome to the URT. Big up, people. Welcome. We salute, love, and light to all of you. Big up. Let me just send some invites to the boys. Please get in, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to every one of you early birders who smashed the like. Smash the like, people. Smash the like. We're live. We're here to discuss everything that is Comedy FC. Here we go. Coming up tonight on the show, people. Coming up on tonight on the show. We're going to be looking at this Sesko to Newcastle news. We're going to be also talking about all the other news surrounding Manchester United. Are we ready for the season? We're going to be also talking about there's no sale of note from the best in nonsense. They've not sold anybody other than loaned out Rashford to Barcelona. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be discussing all that. We're going to be also be thinking about all this feel-good kind of, we're all ready, we're this, we're that. How many times have we seen this? We win so many games in the preseason and then get clapped in the beginning of the season. So we've been here before. We worn the T-shirt. You know, we've had the popcorn. We've seen the movie before. We're going to be talking about that. I'll be live tomorrow around this time, actually, with Saeed TV for the watch-along Everton game. And then after he does his match reaction, we'll be live on there to have a look at and break down what's going on. So big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash the like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. But big up. Like I said, let me see if some of the boys are about. Better watch out. Yeah. Yeah. Big up, people. Big up. Big up to the massive. Big up to the massive, man. Big up to the massive. Yeah, Luwani's about. Let me just send this to Luwani. Jump on if you are free. Not heard from Luwani. Take and sent this to Lesso as well. Jump on if you are free. And Ben as well. So let's see some of the boys jump on. Big up to the masses. Big up. We're gonna also do a little poll to say, are you devil that Sesko now might be joining Manchester United? Yeah, no midfielder. We need a goalkeeper and a midfield. Yeah, exactly, Susan. We're gonna be asking the real questions because you know what? Too many people are giddy FC. Here we go. Too many of them giddy. The giddy massive. So we're going to be asking the real questions that needs to be asked, people. So let's be having you. Sesko from Sesko's injured. Jamie Wayne's ex is injured, man. And he's getting quite a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? He's injury-prone kind of guy, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Same as Ahmad. Same as, some of the other people. Big up, man like Luwani. Big up, King. Hope you're well. Hope the family are well. Hope all is well out there in the New York State. Sending love. Talk to me.
Hey, big up, Nourdin. Big up to Happy Army. Guys, like the video. I can subscribe. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good, man. Good to see you, man. How are things over there in that crazy place, man? Yeah.
It's a bit scary these days, but we're hanging in there. We're waiting for the storm to pass. It's gonna take a few years, but it will pass.
Struggling with storm, just like Manchester United. What do Manchester United and the people in the US got in common? They're all waiting for the storm. They're going through the storm.
Our storm, the storm in the US is self-inflicted.
So is Manchester United, my friend. So is Manchester United. Big up, Luwani. Family good? You're well? Good. Yeah, man. Big up.
Thanks.
I wanted to get your take on the Manchester United preseason so far. Obviously, the game was in New Jersey, not that far from you, I guess. A couple of hours away from you.
Yep. He's two and a half down the 87. But I think we did discuss about it in a few stream ago. I say I was not going to watch the game. I will not take my son in there in protest of the Glazers, and at the same time, we don't know what's going on these days. You have ice showing up at stadium and all those kind
Yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah. It's
stuff going
crazy.
on.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in those that mayhem. So I didn't watch the first two games. I didn't watch the Leeds game. I
yeah.
didn't watch
You
the
didn't miss anything. That was the worst. That was
I
the
didn't
worst.
watch I didn't watch the other game as well, the game against West Ham, but I did watch the one against Bournemouth. And I mean, my general opinion is I mean, at first view you can see a few things change. We're playing with more intensity. Um,
Aggression. Yeah.
yeah, with more aggression. So that with that being said, that means that at least Amorim is implementing some things in training, and you can see with the way the ball is moving faster. And what it actually means with the ball moving faster is that a lot of players know that now that where they will make the corridor in which they will make their runs, and where and when they will make their passes. So the movements are more crisp. Um,
Yeah.
but the general issue I have is that even though the execution is better, it looked like Amorim is not interested in keeping the ball, and he looked like he's not interested in playing through the middle neither.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, like you said it a couple of streams ago, you say it's almost like if he's intentionally trying to bait the opponent into coming to get the ball from us, and that's what I saw during the Bournemouth game. We won 4-1. Uh, and Ariola will be the first to tell you that this United team is not the same that we played. They played during the regular season, but still, it looked like Amorim is almost, you can see the similarity with what he's doing with the school of Mourinho and Conte. There's a lot of similarity. He doesn't want to play with the ball. But the only slight difference, and I think, is he's putting a bit of Gangan press into it. He's almost manufacturing transition situation. Either he press high, or he press in the we press men for men in the middle of the park, or he waits for the opponent to get into a final third before pressing them with everybody behind the ball. It looked like that's what his system is going to be based on. He's going to manufacture a lot of transition, and then with a few passes, a few straight pass, minimum ball carry, he's going to be in the final third and finish the opposition off. So we likely going to punish a lot of teams that make mistake. But the only issue, I don't know if he can work against the big team, the team in the top four, um, that like to play with the ball and come to us. But I don't know if he work against the team that sit against us, because there's also going to be an element of us trying to break things down, and that's where I start seeing issue. uh, Dogo, it looked like he's going to get more of a license to go forward with the areas in which he's picking up the ball. And it looked like Ahmad is going to be get less of a license to go forward. He's probably going to be inverted a bit more than last year. So I will see the number of Dogo going up and Ahmad's number coming down. So those are the first thing the things that I noticed. So the rest will just be a matter of his first 11. When everything is said and done, who he's going to pick, especially on that left flank of the defense. When Lisandro is fit, I don't know if Haven is going to be on the bench, because from my perspective, the best, the most balanced defense we have is with having Delete and Lenny Euro. So I don't know how that's gonna work at the start of the season. So we'll see.
it's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see. I just want to bring people the bit of news the past couple of hours that is surrounding Benjamin Sesko. We'll talk more about what the games that you thought about, what games you watched, Luwani, and I think you're spot on. It's going to be different type of challenges. I'm really hoping that Everton play a low block tomorrow and see what we're up to. But it's going to be very, very interesting, like I said.
Now, I'm also worried about Casemiro because with the increase in intensity, I don't think he can handle it. We playing with a single pivot when we defending. If we don't have everybody behind the ball and we get caught higher up the pitch and the opposition decide to hit us in transition, figure out that Bruno is already going hunting, right? So Casemiro is going to be left there by himself. I don't think he can handle it. So it will be interesting to see Amorim pick his three midfielder between Casemiro, Kobe Mino, who's maturing into the role. I heard he played well during the other two matches, and then Ugarte. So he will have his pick between those three, and I honestly believe Casemiro is below in the pecking order at that point in the single pivot.
Yeah, big up the people. It's going to be very interesting to see. I hope you can see this. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. He's basically saying if Benjamin Sesko chooses Manchester United, they will place a bid for him. They will place a bid for him. It's gone from, he's coming to Manchester United now that apparently Newcastle have made a bid for him, 65 plus 5. Apparently his buyout clause at £65 million. It's going to be very interesting. So the way the wording is, if Benjamin Sesko chooses Manchester United, they will place a bid for him. It is what it is. I know that a lot of you want him. I think Manchester United need to get a Premier League striker, me personally. I'm not really all for this type of project. I personally, my personal views, I made the video. Most of you know what I think of Benjamin. So I think he's a good player. But I don't think he's ready for what Manchester United need right now. I genuinely think that. Most of the last season, he's played on the left-hand side. So he's not even played as a striker. For his country, he plays as a striker. But for Leipzig, he played on the left-hand side. We need Mateta. So if Manchester United wanted to climb up that table, my feelings that to go and get Mateta, go and get somebody like Muniz from Fulham, somebody that the Bournemouth striker, I forgot his name. Ebenilson. So get somebody who's played in the Premier League, and also look at the history. Look at the history of Manchester United buying strikers from the Premier League. If you look at the history of Manchester United in the last 20 years, buying strikers from the Premier League has served Manchester United so well. Buying strikers from abroad, Zlatan worked, but he came on a free. He was old. Cavani worked to a certain, but he was injury prone. But you look at it from Andy Cole to Teddy Sheringham to Dwight York, to Van Persie. Manchester United have bought strikers from different. I also believe, I actually think we need to strengthen the midfield when the goalkeeper and the centre-half situation are far more important. I really think that, because the idea that Manchester United are going to go and get a 20-goal striker, I don't want that if it means that if the team doesn't function properly and all we do is go towards the striker. I want the attack to function. I want goals from everywhere, from midfield, from the wing-backs, from the 10s. I want everybody from the centre-backs to come on, set-piece headers. I want the whole team to function. And I believe that's how you become a good team, when everybody's chipping in with goals. And if you look at Manchester United, when that happens, Manchester United tend to be more successful than when we just look to one, like we did to Van Nistelrooy, and when we work for one striker. So at the end of the day, my point of view is totally different to a lot in the fan base. And I respect people's views. But I think Manchester United need to fix the midfield. And I think Luwani eloquently broke down the weakness that we have in our midfield. So, and I also think that we genuinely need a centre half who can play, who can play, and who's a ball player, but who's also quick recovery defender. I think we need to let Maguire go. That's what I believe. My opinions about this football club and about the playing squad is totally different to a lot of people. Manchester United fans are always conditioned to think our problem is just the one striker. No, our problem is team synergy. Our problem is sustainable attacks. Our problem is winning the ball back. Our problem is hemping teams in. Our problem is not breaking down low block teams. We've got loads of different type of problems. The idea that most of you have realized and known, playing up front for Manchester United has become and is being in recent history a graveyard shift. So this idea for me, another 22-year-old never played in the Premier League, who's from a transitional league, who's not in the last season has not played striker. He's played on the left-hand side. I think that's another experiment. I personally think that, and I think we need to cut out time for experiment. I think with Acuna and Mbeumo, I'm happy with those two players in terms of that they're both proven Premier League footballers. And I'm hoping and praying, like all of you, that they strike up a relationship and they bang in goals and they actually contribute to Manchester United climbing up the table. But we need to sort out that midfield. He still doesn't realize that in the last two games of the preseason against Bournemouth and West Ham, he's tried to bypass the midfield. He's trying to hit hard. We found ways. Specifically, it was nice to see that we found a couple of big up to Jarvis. Make sure you check out the tactical breakdown that he did on Tactical Devils. We found a couple of triangles to try to get out. So ways of dropping the number 10s and the number 8s to try to get out. But it's pre-season, people. It is pre-season. But majority of times, the wide centre-backs are looking to hit the ball right over. And you have to have players who can control those balls. I don't actually mind that sometimes going a bit direct, but you have to mix it up. You can't just be one. In football, it's about mixing it up and being unpredictable. Tactically being unpredictable, so that teams do not have set plans or set traps to counter how you want to play. You're not going to get this level of detail analysis. What you're going to get, majority of the channels, is clickbait you into, we need a striker, we need a striker, we need a striker. No.
Nuruddin,
we need a striker. We need a striker, but we need a striker that can help the team and facilitate the rest of the team and hold up the ball and give the team an outlet and battle. And I always told you people, I like my strikers. I always love my strikers. Even when they don't score, I want them to have 7.5 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 in games. That's what I like. That's the type of footballers I like. Some of you might not like that, but that's how it is. But go ahead, Luani. But that's the latest news. So just to wrap up, that's the latest news. Apparently Newcastle have made the bid. And they bid 65 plus 5 million. So 70 million, that's what they're bidding for. But the remixing on the story is that now that if Benjamin Sesko chooses Manchester United, they will place the bid for him. It's laughable. So get ready and strap up for another mad saga. Unless Benjamin Sesko agrees. And apparently he's making his choice for the next couple of days. He's going to make his decision in the next couple of days. So that's going to be very interesting. So we'll see. But this can go into a saga, or Newcastle can just finish this, offer Leipzig more money, agree personal terms with him, and the deal is done. And if Manchester United were to lose out on this transfer, I wouldn't be that mad. I would not be that mad, genuinely. Because I genuinely do think, if you look at the history of Manchester United, getting strikers from the Premier League has absolutely helped the football club more than getting strikers from abroad. Look at the history. Just look into the history, people, if you don't believe me. But go ahead, Luani.
Yeah. Now, two things. The first thing is about the fact that you said that we needed to bolster our midfield. You are right. I believe majority of the United fans agree with you. But the only person that doesn't seem to agree with that assessment is the only person that matters, is Amorim. due to the way he plays. The guy doesn't want to keep the ball. The guy doesn't want to play through the midfield. So therefore, I don't think a midfielder is his priority. That's probably why we didn't see anything change when it comes to that area of the team. I don't know why he thinks like that. I don't know why he thinks that within 2 or 3 games, the other team in the Premier League are now going to figure him out. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. When it comes to Sesko, I rate him because I think that he is for his age. I've watched the catalog of his goal, the kind of goals that he scored for his age, prove that he's a mature striker. He's technically very good, and he also have a maturity that goes beyond his age. When you look at the catalog of goals that he scores, and that's very important. But yes, of course, it will be an experiment to bring him to United because of the current state that we are in. But due to his age, if we are in a rebuild, we always want to go for this kind of profile of player and at this age because they can outlast the manager. He's 22 years old. He can outlast Amorim. And if we believe that the structure above Amorim of Omar Barada and Wilcox and Vivel are right, I mean, let's trust them to see if they can develop, if they can provide the right environment for his development. I agree with you that Mateta will be the ready-made Premier League proven experienced striker. Right now, that will go straight into that starting lineup. But I don't know how old is Mateta, but my guess is he's north of 28. So what are we going to do in 2 years' time? We're going to be looking for another striker. So that's the reason. That's the only reason why I would not like us to go after Mateta, and I prefer Sesko. I understand what you're saying in terms of we haven't provided an environment for any player to blossom or to develop into what they're supposed to be. But when it comes to players, you can't really predict a lot of things. You know, they can come here, and this could be the 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 environment that helped them explode. So I just look at his qualities, I look at his age, and I welcome a transfer for him. The only issue, I don't know why we're haggling. I don't know why we're doing. Why is Newcastle almost hijacking the deal from us? When you look at his age and the age of Rasmus, you look at his skill set and the skill set of Rasmus, our starting striker right now. I don't understand why we didn't go for Sesko 2 years ago. Because if I remember very well, he was one of those young upcoming. He was touted as being the next big thing. Um, but I understand what you're saying too when you're referring to the fact that it's almost like he didn't develop because 2 years ago he was well talked about, and now we don't hear, we haven't heard, he haven't kicked on since then. But I don't know how his curve was at Leipzig. Maybe he had injuries or what. But just based on his skill set, I need a strike. We need a striker like him. He will be, if he come in, he will be probably the most complete striker. Even though not Premier League proven, he will be the most complete striker that we have on our team.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I was raving about Benjamin Sesko 2 and a bit years ago because I saw things that I didn't see many young strikers at his age were doing. You know, the ball control, the ability actually from being a big man, having amazing quick feet. You know what I mean? So I was raving about him, but in the last couple of years when I've watched him, I actually think he stayed the same. He didn't stagnated or he even regressed. I just think that when I look at the data, so some of the data says that I asked this question to a lot of different people. When was the last time a striker from Bundesliga has been a success in the Premier League? That league is super transitional league. It's very transitional. It's counter press FC, the German league. And all people can tell me was Highland is a freak. Highland, whether he came from the Portuguese league whether he came from the Spanish league, German league, the French league, it don't matter, the Turkish league, he's just a freak of nature, yeah? So put Haaland on a different thing. The last striker come from Germany and to do well in the Premier League was Aubameyang. That's what, 7-8 years ago? So at the end of the day, I'm big up to everybody in the chat. Yeah, we look at Tevez, we look at Saha, you know, all these different type of people. So in terms of what the strikers, the record is there. People who have played in the Premier League are there. And yeah, we got Saha, Tevez. Who else did we get from? Yeah, we got loads of different type of players in the Premier League strikers, and have actually done really well. So Andy Cole, Dwight York, Tevez, Saha, these people have done well. So that the proven record supports my argument. Now, that doesn't mean that Sesko is not a special player, that he can't come in and really connect with Manchester United, connect with the front three, become one of the best strikers in world football in a couple of years' time. I'm just looking at where Manchester United are. We finished 15th last season. What players are going to help us climb up that table? How much of a risk is Benjamin Sesko? Now, and the other thing about him is that I don't know if he was on the list this summer, but he's been on Manchester United list for the past how many years? There are stories when he was worth 3 to 4 million, United were tracking him since he was 14 years old, 15 years old. So United have been tracking this player for a long, long time. Last season, according to reports, if you believe them, he was the number one target, but somehow it didn't happen, right? So at the end of the day, is that I personally think this summer, it was Dilat, Gyökeres was part of it, Watkins became another part of it, and then all of a sudden, he is like the fourth or the fifth choice. Oh, Osimhen was somebody United were interested in. And he's become like the fifth striker that we were linked with in this summer. And only because Gyökeres goes to Arsenal, and now Newcastle are in it for him because Isaac has already made it clear that he wants to go to Liverpool. People, and mods, get on it. Let's get 100 likes on the video. ASAP. Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. It helps the channel. And subscribe. We are 3 subscribers away, last time I checked, from 3 subscribers away from 13.4. So 3 subscribers. Big up to everybody. We're having a very intelligent discussion about Manchester United and everything that is about the striking. I've just made the community poll. Please get involved in it, people. It's 50-50 right now. What's more important, midfielder or a striker? And at this moment in time, the midfielder is 52% and 48 striker. So people, please get on it.
See, no, then when it comes to strikers, sometimes it's also important the team they transition into and the coach, the system they playing for are also more as important as the league that they transition into. When I take, for example, Scamacca that went to West Ham, he was also very touted and well talked about in Europe, but he went to play for.
I rate him. I rate him, and I said, I don't know if you remember, Luani. I don't know if you remember. I am on record on YouTube. People saying I was hyping him up. I really like him. I really liked him, and I said, do not go to West Ham. I literally said, do not go to West Ham. The videos are out there, and I told everybody and their nine, if he goes to West Ham, it's going to be a huge mistake. And it was a huge mistake. And even the striker that they tried to get rid of, Antonio came out. He was on a podcast, The Filthy Fellas, and he said, he's amazing in training, but the system, the way that we play doesn't suit him. It never suited him. So
then now you have Scamacca.
That's the crucial. That is a crucial. Now he's gone back to Italy. He's had a crucial ligament. I don't know what he's doing now, but he was another guy who had the strength, can bring the ball down, can play, you know what I mean, can get in the box. And sometimes for me, the moves that you make, it's massive. And I think that's a critical point. Big up Lesso, big up for joining us. But go ahead, Luwadi. I just wanted to make that point. I was one of these people that was really wanted Scamacca at Manchester United. I'm glad that he didn't come actually, because it would have been crazy.
Yeah. You see, well, I think he joined at 24. He came into the league. Now he's 26. He's north of his 25. We can say he's in his prime. But if you look at Sesko, like when I take a striker, Sesko is 22. Right. When you look at his catalog of goals, it's very important for when it comes to a striker. When he received the ball in the box, they don't have that much time, and the execution is not something that they rehearse in training with the Rams. It's something that comes to you naturally. Maybe his first touch put the ball in a certain way that he strike it with his second touch, or he strike it right away with his with whatever foot the ball coming. But they don't have much time to react the defenders because the defenders are coming at them, right? So when I look at the goals that Skamaka scores, I'm not too worried about how he's going to be acclimated to the league, because I don't see him running in behind doing the other things that Ole Watkins does. But I don't still understand why we want Ole Watkins, right, with his age. Okay, now the coach, I'm more worried about how Amorim is gonna get the ball to him and the way Amorim wants to play. You can already see in the last game, I can see that the way Amorim is using Rasmus is not something that fits Rasmus' skill set. Rasmus cannot hold the ball back to goal if he cannot hold the ball at all. But Amorim is obstinate. He doesn't want him running on the shoulder. He wants him to come to the ball. Yes, he has improved in this past game. I've seen him holding the ball a little bit, holding up the defender, but you can tell clearly that's not his game. So if Skamaka come in, he's 22. As long as he can outlast Amorim, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, big up everybody. Please smash a like on the video. People are coming back at me and saying Mateta. Yeah, Mateta. You could say that he's a success according to, but he's not played for a huge football club. He's playing for Crystal Palace. All due respect, he's done well in the system, and especially since the German coach has come in, and he's done well. And I would like him. Firmino played as a midfield player, and Klopp set him up in a system that where he played as the kind of a false nine. He was a midfielder. Son is a wide player. Haaland, I said Haaland is a freak. Haaland is a freak. Haaland, regardless of what, he's just a freak of nature, right? But Aubameyang, to me, was the last proper striker that scored 30 goals in a season, or 20, or stayed consistent for Arsenal for a long time. Mateta, yes, especially since Gladnick or whatever the coaches of Crystal Palace, since he's come in, he's played really well. But Son's a wide player. How many other flops you had from Germany? How many? How many flops have you had from Germany? Somehow it doesn't work out in this league. There's so many players. Yeah, big up people. Big up. We need 150 likes. Lesso, welcome. I hope you're well. I hope all is good in South Africa. Can you hear us? Lesso, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Big up to Luwani, big up to you as well.
How's the weather in South Africa, man? What's going on? How's everything?
We're still in winter time, unfortunately, and it's gonna continue up until September, more so. Okay. But yeah.
So September, you're gonna hit spring, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. But you know how it is. It could be end of September, or it could be just after September, because we never know with the climate change and everything.
Okay. Timo Werner, how about that? Timo Werner is the next big flop. There's many more. Yeah. Yorkeres saying Yorkeres doing nothing at Arsenal. Aubameyang and Lacazette were class before he joined them. Yorkeres doing nothing. Listen, let's chill out on that. I mean, I call him a cyborg, but you know what I mean? Let's just chill out. Yeah, they all came to Alternative Facts. They all came to Man City, who are a very stable football club and actually a winning football club with one of the best coaches in world, probably the best coach in world football. So let's not compare ourselves to Man City in the last decade. They've been way ahead. of where Manchester United are. Yeah, Fulcrum. Yeah, even the guy who was at West Ham before Scamacca, he's from Ivory Coast. He had the cancer actually. What was his name? Remember that striker? He was at Dortmund. He's from Ivory Coast. He had he survived testicular cancer. He struggled here as well, and West Ham spent a lot of money on him. But then that's just that's David Moyes anyway. So it is what it is. But big up everybody. Please smash a like. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. Let's so. In terms of your caress, United are saying if United people have to bid for him. If he gives a signal that he wants to join United, United would bid for him. I'm also reading. I'll get to it in a minute. So let me just get to it. So it's just to show people. This is the other thing that's happening. So there is a gentleman agreement between Sesko and IP Leipzig. If he tells Leipzig there's a club that he considers special, then the price will drop to 70 million euros, 80 million, and 5 to 10 million in add-ons, which doesn't make sense. The drop to 70 million, 80 million euros, plus 5 million or 10 million as add-ons. That's what's being reported. Yeah. So for me, that amount of money that's been spent on him, which is going to be around 65. So this year. So the gentleman agreement is 65 million to 78 million. So in this amount of money that's spent on him, big up to biologist. I think Manchester United to go and get a midfielder. If we're spending 78 million, I think we should go and get Baleba from Brighton. I really think that. I genuinely go and put a bid in for Baleba. Honestly, that's what I personally believe. I really believe that. And then if you get some money, go and get a striker. I'll take Estepian, and I'll take Nunez from Fulham. I really like Nunez from Fulham. He holds the ball up. He brings people into play. He's had some injuries, but he is a very good striker, 24 years old, and he will facilitate people to get into the game, and he will actually bring more out of Mbeumo and more out of Cunha, I believe, and he's better all around for the team, and he's really strong in the air. We already know Brian Mbeumo likes to cross the fucking ball. He likes to whip a ball in. So we need somebody who's gonna, we need somebody, and I would make a cheeky bid for 30 million. His contract runs out 2026, if I'm not mistaken. Nunez plays for Fulham. He sits on the bench, and him to come into Manchester United, I would take that 100%. Yeah, big up to this guy as well. He's saying he's worth 55 million, 60 max. I totally agree. Totally agree. He's not even played it last season. He was not even playing as a striker last season, and they want this amount of money for him. Nah, mate, not having it. Not having it. But go ahead, Lesso. What do you think? Obviously, you rate him. You like him. But do you think the money is worth it? 70 to 65, 70 million. Do you agree that the money might be way better spent in a midfield player than it is on Sesko? Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I do believe, obviously, money should be obviously with the midfield because we cannot neglect the midfield area. But unfortunately, nobody's really worth what they are worth at the moment. I think it's more or less what the market is crazy, to be honest. And I think we did ourselves a disservice of this. I've said this way before the transfer window opened, that if you let the transfer window, drag on up until, the later stages, you're going to find prices like this. It's just normal because these clubs know that it's going to take a while for them to replace these players. So if you're going in late for players, what are you expecting? You're not going to get them for cheap prices. Like, that's just logic. So, like I said with this board, they should have went for players a lot earlier. You probably get him for 50, 55. Probably if you went for him earlier in the opening of the transfer window. So on this part, it's on the board. And and with regards to Baleba, you're not getting him for 65 to 78 million. You're not. You're dealing with Brighton here. And with these clubs, what they do is that if you're a big club and you're coming for one of their players and you're doing this later in the window, they're gonna rinse you. They're gonna make sure they rinse you, because you know what? Just as much as it is for them, they also, whoever they're gonna get as a replacement, they're gonna also pay a bit more. Naturally, whoever they're gonna go rinse or to get players from, they are gonna pay a little bit more. So guess what? That influences the prices that they're gonna put on their player that you want. So in both ways, you're gonna end up paying 100 for Baliba. That's personally my favorite player for the midfield position. You're gonna pay 100 bare minimum, and next season it's just gonna be more or less the same. But like I say, Manchester United are looking at him anyways. I think it's gonna be more of a thing for next season, not this season, because of the price tag that they're gonna deal with anyways. So I think we can get a midfielder. We are looking at a midfielder. I think we're looking at more of a lesser of a stopgap. Someone who's solid. Who can get us through this season with whatever we have. Because Bruno is not leaving, so it's not really, they're not really looking for a major surgery right in the midfield area. But they do also need a striker, because it's clear that they don't trust Hoyland. They still don't trust him. So they want someone, obviously, who's going to try and be able to hold up the ball and bring players into play and all these other things. And Hoyland that's not his game. Like Luani said, it isn't. It's not going to start the season either. It's either you have it or you don't, in this case. And hence why I said with Sesko, he gives you that, because he knows how to run behind and he knows how to hold the ball. And that is the reason why he's able to even he's versatile in playing up front in three positions. He can drag out wide, he can slide through the middle as well. We've seen that. That's why he primarily plays that for Leipzig. And for the international side, he plays right through the middle. So even with regards to the goals, I wouldn't really look too much at his goal tally. I'd look at his overall contribution to the team, considering the fact that he doesn't play primarily in one position. So that's really unfair. People need to actually look at things in context, as a forward player, and it's not just about goals only, it's about what you bring to the team. If you don't score goals, what else do you do for the team? And we don't want to find ourselves in those kind of situations again this season. And that is why I also think, we cannot go a season without a striker. If they don't get him, they need to make sure they get someone else. I don't say that if we don't get him, then it's over. It's all over for us. We can try and still get someone else, but we made it hard for ourselves. You had a player like Jonathan Davids who pretty much does what Sesko does. He scores all types of goals as well. We let him go to Juventus. So it's been a mix up, and I've been pissed off because I've been seeing how this window is going to end up. We're going to end up with these last minute signings and having to pay over the odds again as a result of our incompetency of going after players before this, way before this transfer window opened. Barada himself said, they only started assessing things, from February onwards, and that's poor for me. If you waited through the whole January till that's when you said you're gonna assess things from there, then for me, what have you been doing from the period of July all the way to December? So it's clear that this club, like I said, that they were not prepared. Clearly, there was no preparations in advance, for this transfer window. That's why it has gone the way it has gone. It's not a coincidence. And we did not address the positions that we needed to address. We only signed about 2 players. We brought in one that's already, that may not be even a starter anyways, who's a young player and needs to be integrated, gradually into the team. But overall, with regards to the striker, just to end my part, with regards to the striker, I still rate the guy. Whether which league he plays for or whichever, or whatever, I look at him also for his international side, and he plays extremely well. and he's a player with a lot of potential. Do I think that we can utilize that potential and make him a great player? That remains to be seen under the structure, right? So it's hard for me to write that off and say, we're not going to be able to do it based on what we haven't done before, because now we have a so-called the best in class, as they say, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Nonsense. Yeah. Big up.
So I don't know. Yeah, big up to everyone.
Yeah, big up. Listen, people, please keep smashing the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Big up to Alia Tenno. Big up, Pete. I hope you're well, Pete. Hope your missus is well. Sending love, praying for her recovery. He says we had a top midfielder, McTominay. Oh, well, listen, McTominay wasn't more of a number 10. He was a guy crashed in the box. He was a guy who can play behind the striker. We put him as a number 6 and number 8. Totally misprofiled him. And now he's doing well in Italy. Like I said, I think me and you can play in Italy, Pete. No disrespect to that league, but I think me and you will do all right, Pete, even at this age. But yeah, big up to Pete. Lots of love to him. I wanted to get into another discussion actually tonight. But yeah, let me just go back. Let me see where we're up to. We're not even 100 likes yet. We've been live for about 40 minutes now, if I'm not mistaken, and we're not even 100 likes yet. We're 50 minutes. 1 second, just to get to where the community question, what's more important, midfielder or striker? At this moment in time, striker 40% with an overwhelming 60% is midfield. So this is the therapy army. Please get involved in the votes, the poll, community poll, United Real Therapy poll. This has become a fixture in the part of the lives that we do, the podcast that we do. So please make sure you always interact with the live poll. And more importantly, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We've been live for 50 minutes and we've only got 70 likes. I don't know what to tell you, people. I genuinely
like the video, man.
On it. It's like the video. It costs absolutely nothing. We're shadow banned because we stand up for Palestine. We got the flag here. We're here. We got the map here. You know what I mean? We got the legendary warrior of Palestine there. We're here because we refuse to be cowed and to be told, but we're shadow banned. So the least you can do is smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. That's all you can do. We're not asking for anything else. That's what we're asking. So let's do it, people. Love.
Just wanted to say something. Add quick about what Leso say. I agree with him on a lot of point, right? I'm a very simple soul. If you're a striker, they give you the ball in the box. Your first control freezes the defender. The second control freezes the goalkeeper, and you slot it in with the inside of your foot. For me, that tells you that you're cold-blooded. If you're a striker, the ball is given to you outside the box. You're running. The defenders is backing off you, and you strike the ball into the far corner. That tells me that you not only have the ability to strike the ball, but you're also confident enough to do it. So I've seen that from Sesko. Now, what are we trading this for? Doggo cross the ball. Rasmus trying to head the ball across the goal, completely missed the ball. And the ball go the other way, scores, and then run shamelessly to the flag to celebrate. I'm not saying, hey, don't celebrate your goals, but come on, brother. Let's be honest here. And the second thing is that Leso is right. The transfer policy of our club is completely in shambles. We can't defend it. I don't understand why you will be going for a player at this time deep during the preseason. Most of the managers have already prepared the team. They're playing games and they have their main players that are incorporated in their system and they're rehearsing it. Make sure they're sharp when the season comes. The more game they're playing, the harder it will be. Think about it, for a GM, for a general manager or director of football, to go to a manager and tell him, hey, you know what? We're going to take one of your main players out of the system. What does it mean? As a coach, you looking at him like, you trying to sabotage my season. You see, so it's going to be a fight between the managers of the club and the director of football when another team is coming late in the preseason and trying to pry their main players out. So if you're not paying a premium price, those teams are not going to let those players go. And I don't understand why. I don't understand what our transfer policy is. We're supposed to line up our priorities and then our second choices, and we have a budget that cover all of that, everything. So even if we don't have our second choices set, if the negotiations are tough, we can still buy our secondary choices or fill up other areas of the team while we negotiating on our first choice. But it look like we go one by one. If we don't sign Mbomo, if we don't sign Cunha, we're not gonna sign Mbomo. If we don't sign Mbomo, we're not moving on to somebody else, and that's despicable. At the end, we're going to end up with some main players and fewer of the role players, or no role players at all. We're going to have a team squad, and 2 or 3 injury later, we're going to be scratching our head, and that's not a good way to do transfers. Best in class, like let's just say, very doubtful, shameful. So
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Big up Alien Tenno. He says, McTominay MVP in Italy. Bruno will never be MVP wherever he plays. That's the difference. Yeah, 100. Well, we can say. Actually, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Apparently, Al Nassr, which is the club that Cristiano Ronaldo plays for, are apparently after Bruno Fernandes. Would you sell him? Would you sell Bruno Fernandes? That's the question. Would you sell him for 100 million? That's the question, people. I'll go to Lesso. Lesso, Bruno apparently linked with Al Nassr. Would you take it? Would you do it?
Yeah, not late in this window. Honestly, I can't, because with this club right now, we don't know what the replacement is, what is the idea behind what they're trying to do, and personally for me, you take that money now, there's no plan, you go to another club, they look at the money that you just got from Bruno, they're gonna rinse you. So that's how I look at it. Like, it's just not feasible anymore. They had the opportunity to do it. They told him that, nah, don't worry, don't go. And this could have been done a whole lot earlier, and they could have even planned quickly and tried to get players in before that move even went through, so that they don't get rinsed. Now the problem is, you're going there, that money almost looks like nothing now, because now teams are gonna know that you got 100 million in cash. You're not getting it in installment, you're getting it in cash. That's a rarity anyways. So they're going to rinse you. Any player that you're going for, we're gonna get rinsed. So I'm honestly, we shot ourselves in the foot. Don't do it. Personally, we're not prepared. We're gonna take 5 years to replace the guy, and it's just gonna be a mess all over the for us in whatever we're trying to do. So I say they must just wait till end of they must just wait till next season. I think these teams will be back for him next season. It's clear that they will. So wait till next season. Let this one, you guys failed with this one. You let it slip, and we need to go back to the drawing board and try and get maybe a midfielder in to complement him right at the moment. That's a more safer option, to be honest.
Yeah. Big up to Jamie Wayne. Jamie Wayne says he already turned that down. He wants to stay. Well, he shouldn't dictate that. A proper football club, no player would dictate whether he stays or goes. That's how we do it. Luwani, would you take the money? I would, me personally, right now. And I could get 3 players for 100 million. If you give me 100 million, I'll get 3 players. Even if I don't get Belerba. Yeah. To improve the squad.
They play with my emotion the first time around, so fuck this conversation. I'm not going back there. Yes, they're supposed to sell him the first time around. They did not. He came out saying that he's the hero that we all deserve. So hey, here we are. This is his team now. He needs to take us to the promised land next season. I don't care what Amorim say. We have to suffer, but if we have to suffer, we might as well, maximize the suffering, right? So I'm not going back there. That ship has
sailed.
Even
the ship sailed.
Even if the money, like let's just say, a lot of teams are gonna look at that and they're going to rent us. So no, let's keep it moving at this point. So
big up. Maboku says yes. Go to Crystal Palace. Get Eze and Sensio Fermi Lopez. Yeah, we could get 3 players. People are saying it's already done. Big up Nathan. Nathan is always he's always telling us. It's big up King Sol. Hope you're good. He said himself he's not leaving and he ain't going to El Nasser. But yeah, take the cash. Mason Mount. We have Mason Mount. Let's go. How many are we away? We are at this moment in time. Subscribers. We're 2 subscribers away. 2 subscribers away from 13.4k for a channel that is shadow banned. That's quite good. Big up to everybody. We know that this channel is not for everybody. We understand that. But if you're open-minded, you come and hear this other side. So I just wanted to go to our next topic, closing topic, really. The best in nonsense have only loaned out Rashford to Barcelona. We still got Sancho at the football club, Garnacho at the football club, Anthony at the football club, Malacia. I don't know why he's throwing in with them. I didn't have any problem with Malacia. I don't know why he's throwing in. He just gets thrown under the bus, Malacia, bless him. You know, he's had a bad injury. Manchester United advised him, gave him a bad advice. The medical department wrecked his career, and then he was out for a whole season. So at the end of the day, I don't know why he's being shunned like that. But is it worrying that the best in nonsense, for me, the best in class, the pole dancers, Jim and Glazer pole dancers, are telling me the best in this, the best in that? They have absolutely no effing clue. We bought in only 2 players. Diego Leon is an 18-year-old, so I'm not expecting anything from him. The 2 players we've signed is Cunha and Mbeumo, and we said we needed 5, and I think we needed 7 to get back up the table, and they've not sold anybody. Anybody. How worrying do you think is? How much faith did you have in the best in class bullshit nonsense? I just want to tell you how many likes we're on still. We're still not reached 100 likes. It's shocking, honestly. It's shocking.
Come on,
really
guys, like the video.
It's shocking. And also, what's more important, midfielder or a striker? 59% of you are saying a midfielder. 41% of you are saying a striker. So please keep voting. I really want to hear your view on the poll. But yeah, let's talk about it. No, the best in nonsense, the best in class, best in more like nonsense, have not done any job when it comes to the outs. They've absolutely done the worst thing that you could do, shun the players, and then expect to get decent money for players who you've thrown away, basically, who are now training by themselves at Old Trafford. I've never known it. Say what you want about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There was things that he did fundamentally and structurally wrong at Manchester United. One was sucking up to the fucking Glazers. The other was that, but one thing you would say about him, other than that he had no clue at the end. He couldn't cope. They betrayed him because they needed midfielders, and then they gave him Ronaldo, and he accepted. What an absolute bozo of a decision. But one thing I would say about him, the week before Lukaku and Sanchez left, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was coming out saying, no, Sanchez is our player. He's a very important player in this team. Lukaku is our striker. They're both going nowhere. And a week later, they both went to Italy. So at least you can say whatever you want about Ole. But he was wise enough to understand that you do not shun players and expect to get some money for him. And it's just absolute, these experts, apparently, it's absolutely laughable. How toxic are Manchester United as a football club? I don't see this. I don't see many outcasts in other football clubs. I don't see it at Bournemouth. I don't see it at Brighton. I don't see it Crystal Palace. I don't see it at Arsenal, other than Aubameyang and the other guy that they got rid of towards the end. But I don't see people being outcasted like that. Liverpool, Man City, players don't get outcasted like that. What is it toxic? Why are the fucking fan base yet again ignoring the toxicity within this fucking football club that players behave like that? You set a standard. You have a culture at the football club so that players do what they're told. They're employees of the football club. But so I just don't understand. And now they're shocked now. And now that's where the tactics are switched now. That's where Amorim are now saying there are players, the price that Omar Barada and Wilcox have set. If we don't get them, then we'll just have to integrate them back. Like, people believe that shit. He thinks we're children. I swear to God, it's laughable. It's so fucking laughable, people. But people, mods, get on it. Get on it, King Saul. Get on it, Jamie Wayne. Get on it, Peter. Get the lights up. Big up Alternative Facts. But yeah, let's do it. Go ahead, Luani. Break it down for me.
See, I've had my share of blame on Amorim when it comes to the way he outcast some players. For example, going on record and saying that Garnacho would have to beg for a team to come for him, something along those lines. But the buck always starts with the guy who's all the way on top. I mean, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. If you invest more than $1 billion in a team and you bring in people you trust to restart the program, Omar Barada, obviously very trusted, and Omar Barada bringing Vivel and Wilcox. Excuse me, if their manager comes out and say that I don't want these players anymore and outcast them, you as an owner should be able to back your structure and terminate their contract right away. That's the only way to solve a certain toxicity. Cut their contract, terminate it, tell them they can go find another club, eat the money. That's all you can do. But it looks like we have an owner that's penny pinching. And once you have an owner that's penny pinching, you're going to have this situation where there's clearly a break in communication between what the manager thinks the owners will do, backing him financially and terminating the contract, or what he can say on camera, because clearly he didn't expect these players to come back when he said that he doesn't want them in training anymore. Now we have a situation where the players are in limbo. They're still technically United players, and when they don't find any buyers, he's going to have to integrate them. And imagine how awkward this situation is. And this is Sir Jim Ratcliffe is my first person to blame. You are a billionaire. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a drop in the bucket for you to terminate the contract of 4 or 3 players. Terminate the contract. Give the manager a clean slate and give your new structure a clean slate. Give them something to work with. So that's on him. That's on Sir Jim.
Yeah, that is interesting. Lefto, what do you think? What do you think, people?
Nah, man, it's quite obvious. Luani summed it up perfectly. You know, the guy came into this football club, and he's come here half-heartedly. And you can see with the way he spends money on things. The amount of money he has dished out is not anything nearly as enough as maybe someone like Jassim would have. Of course, Jassim is of a different, they're of a different mindset. They come into football clubs, they look at them as projects more than financial returns and whatnot. They look at it as more of a, what do we call it, sports washing, right? And for them, it's about to get this club to clean up more or less the image that obviously the West has painted on them, and get these clubs being successful in all, and actually generating more or less income and improving the economy in and around where the club is established, right? So in this case, with the likes of your capitalist driven owners, such as your Sejim, such as your Glazers, such as these type of people who hold on to their money so much, they don't even want to lose a cent. I think these owners are not they shouldn't be owning huge football clubs, because it takes a lot of money for you to run an establishment of this size, and to even keep maintaining it. It costs a whole lot. So for them, it's about making a quick buck. And in this sense, we can see with the way he's investing, he knew that he'll get the stadium plans going with the government, and that's how they're gonna raise the the value of the club, and then they're gonna try and sell it for more. That's essentially what he's coming here for. He's not coming here to make Manchester United a successful club and win trophies. That's quite obvious. Otherwise, he would have done what needs to be done. How on earth do you bring sporting structure, and still be able, or should I say, enable to implement the most simple and basic principles, as such as getting rid of players and bringing in players and ensuring that there's a structure that ensures that there's this smooth movement between those two, and strong relationships between those two things. So we can't even do that, and it's clear, like I said, this man has come here and came here to cut short, to take the short corners and to maximize his profits, and then he can leave. That's all he's here for. This thing of best in class and all this is just to get these fans hyped up, and unfortunately they believed in this, and yeah, that's why we find ourselves where we're at right now.
Yeah.
He's not gonna put in as much money as we think he's gonna put into the football club. That's why he went to the government. So yeah.
Yeah, big up Alternative Facts for always encouraging people to subscribe and to like the video. People, yeah, it's to me it's worrying, but majority of the fan base are just dazzled. It's like what's put in front of look. It's just that focus them like little puppy. Here, puppy, here. This is the fan base, majority of the fan base. Focus, tunnel vision. Don't see the bigger picture of what's going on. We've got 4 players sitting, training at Old Trafford. And I don't see any buyers anytime soon at the end of the day. And what we're going to be doing is loaning them out. We're going to be loaning them out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Big up to Amir Fakir. People have different opinion of those players. But yeah, big up for you for standing up for certain players. The record is there for people. But yes, smash the likes, people. Smash the effing likes. It costs you absolutely nothing. I'm dumbfounded. And I think you summed it up. Both of you, I think, have summed it up. That no other football club is doing this. Tomorrow we will play the last pre-season game on tour. We'll be playing against Everton. It's 10 o'clock in the UK time. I don't know what time it is over there. What time's the game on over there? It's Atlanta, Georgia, isn't it? Luwani.
The last one they played in Chicago, so I'm guessing
that was 2:30. That was 2:30 in the morning in the UK. So how many hours is Atlanta ahead of you?
Atlanta is about, I would say, I think it's between 12 and 14 hours.
Ahead of New York. Wow.
Yeah, because Chicago. Crazy. Yep. Yeah, between 12 and 14 hours. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so we'll be live for that. But everybody's been talking about how the preseason's gone, and now you can also see this so-called big Manchester United channels sucking the Glazer and Ineos football structure.
No, you mean by how many hours they are ahead of how many hours to get there?
No, how many hours are they ahead?
I don't know, not up to 12. To get there, it always takes me about
hours.
14 hours. Yeah.
Wow, driving, yeah. Well, it's the deep south, isn't it? Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Big up all the people from Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, so a lot of people have been talking about how, it's amazing, the atmosphere is amazing, the team spirit is this, blah, blah. How many times have we heard that? We went there with Louis van Gaal, we smashed teams. We went to the Far East with Eric Ten Hag, we smashed teams. We smashed Liverpool 4-0. And then we got clipped in the first couple of games, and then we started to panic buy. This is what I'm seeing. This is all I'm seeing, people. So in terms of this tour, one thing I would say about those called big channels, we see you now, and I told you all about Rio Ferdinand. I've been telling you about Rio Ferdinand and how he's he's on the payroll of the Glazers, and that never trusted anything that come out of his effing mouth. And now you know from all the stuff that you've seen, people keep sending me clips of the so-called big channels sucking up to the fucking football club, where they can never be critical. They're compromised now. So anything that comes out these big football, these United channels, you know what it is now, people. You know what the fuck it is. They can't come out because they've developed relationships with these people. So then they're not going to be able to say, I will never in my entire life, our content is anti-Glazer and anti-fucking Ineos, and we'll forever remain like that. We will always support the teams, we'll support the coach and the players, but we'll never suck up to fucking Glazer and fucking Ineos, who have damaged this fucking football club, who took this fucking football club to 15th, took us to the worst finish, 8th, and now took us to fucking 15th. We will never suck up to them, right? And I see even he's exposing himself even further. I really respect him. I respect the fan scene, and I respect that he's a United fan, but he's been totally being co-opted by Ineos. I see that Andy Mitten is really sad, really, really sad, because I really think he's an amazing journalist. He's done such a great work, but unfortunately, he's just the Ineos tool now. He's an Ineos Glazer tool. For me, if you're an Ineos tool, you're a Glazer tool, because Ineos and Glazers are doing this together. But yeah, big up to everybody. Yeah, know where to come and get proper news and proper analysis and critique of Manchester United. So many people would try to tag me and stuff. I saw the video where Rio Ferdinand and Rooney are advertising the kits. What does that tell you? Rooney's in the fucking pocket of the football club. So is Rio Ferdinand. So are majority of these big channels. They're all being fucking compromised, regardless what they say. So remember, if you are subscribed to any of them, remind them who the fuck they are and why they were fucking sucking up. The only one that really genuinely cares is Eric Cantona. Well, Roy Keane, to be fair, Gary Neville has compromised him via alien turn. I don't trust Roy Keane anymore either, because Roy Keane is compromised because he's a big pal of Gary Neville, and Gary Neville is waiting for the apartments. He's looking for the apartments at Manchester United. You know, the Ineos that want to build. Like Lesso broke it down for you earlier. Cantona is the only person, genuine person, who's fuck the Glazers and fuck Ineos. So he's the only legend when you look at our so-called legends. But all of these people are compromised. Yeah. Big up to Alternative Facts, man. I'm going to make you a mod. Appreciate you always, King, for what you do. Really, really appreciate you helping with the channel and making sure that people are subscribed to the channel. Yeah, I'm just going to add you as a moderator. So
I'm always very curious when it comes to those channels that get closer to the players, that get like brought in by the team, and they do, especially when the YouTube channel, and they do interviews with the players and they pally up to the players. And then how are you gonna be able to criticize the player after that when they have a bad performance on the pitch? Because this is not like in terms of the journalism space where you can hide behind your professionalism and do your job as a professional journalist, because that's what your job called for. But as a YouTuber, you, in some degree, you kind of have to be their friend or a little closer, right? You get a little more personal. But then after a bad performance, how are you going to be able to criticize these players? There have to be a subconscious bias that will set in, that will not allow you to ask the hard question, because you're afraid the next interview you might not get it, or they will not pick up the next phone call you give them. So I don't know how this works with them, with those channels.
Yeah. I mean, they show themselves for what they are when they come out. That's why they stay muted and silent when it comes to Ineos. And these are the same people who were coming out against the Qatar takeover of Manchester United with their xenophobic bullshit. Are you taking the fucking piss? 12 or 13 clubs in the Premier League are owned by the fucking US. US
That is
fucking
crazy.
companies.
I didn't even know that, you know.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's
crazy.
happening. But then you have a problem with Qatar fucking owning Manchester United because you want to suck off fucking Ineos. Get the fuck, you fucking pole dancers. You're nothing but 2-bit fucking twerkers and pole dancers for fucking Ineos. You're a fucking disgrace. Call yourself United fans. You're all fucking sucking off Ineos. That's what you're doing, and by indirect, you're sucking off the Glazers who've damaged and ruined this fucking football club. And every little crumbs, every little carrot that's waved in front of you, is just like a little fucking lost puppy. But on this channel, we will never compromise. Never, ever compromise on that. Never on our views. We know who the fault of this fucking, where we are in this football club. People don't remember we were so far ahead of everybody else. We dominated in the late 90s and the early 90s. We dominated this Premier League and we're so far ahead. And yet, we nearly got relegated last season. We might as well, without being punished. We would have been relegated if the 3 bottom teams weren't as bad as they were. We would have been in the relegation. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And yet again, we shunned 4 players. They made 0 sales. We've signed 2 players and everybody's fucking twerking and pole dancing. It's fucking laughable. Absolutely laughable. Laughable. The authorities have subjugated United with Zio Glazers, and our fan base is complicit. 100% Dampy. Yeah, and he's a Spurs fan. Yeah, he's a Spurs fan. He's always been a Spurs fan. Yeah, but yeah, big up.
It is sad. It is sad to watch all our heroes of the past, those we have come to see, accustomed to see lifting trophies, now turn into villain, just in the name of pure greed. Starting from even, would I dare to say, Sir Alex Ferguson and the whole class of 98. It's just sad.
92,
Today,
92, yeah.
92. It's just sad. It's sad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Rio Ferdinand had fucking skulls shaking hands with Glazers. Shaky fucking hands with Glazers. Tells you everything you need to know. Last word from you. And then, then we head out, people. But it's been a brilliant show. Like I said, we're going to be live tomorrow, doing a watch-along with 10:30 tomorrow night. Inshallah, God willing, with Saeed. And then Saeed's going to do sing, and we're going to be live doing match analysis after that. So please make sure you join us tomorrow night. Go ahead, Leso. Last word from you, King.
Yeah, man. What can we say? All these guys are compromised. Guys we all looked up to, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. I've been brushing it aside as well. In terms of how bad things really are. But it's not just them, to be honest. I said that this goes all the way to the government, and then the Premier League board. They allowed this nonsense to happen in the first place, where we had the Glazers even coming here in the first place. So for me, it was a bunch of sabotage from the get-go. There's a lot of Londoners on that Premier League board when that happened. So, Manchester United's success was really hurting a lot of people. That kind of dominance, they could not allow it to continue. And so what they're doing now, they would never do to any other team, any London team. You look at Chelsea with the owner that came in, they were very picky as to which owners are allowed to come in. And you look at the other teams as well. You look at Newcastle. Like I said, when the Saudis wanted Manchester United, it was xenophobic. They were all xenophobic about it. But when the Saudis wanted Newcastle, when they wanted Manchester United, there was a lot of xenophobic, from Sky, you could see that they were, spouting it in some way, form or shape. But then at the same time, when Saudis went and wanted to purchase Newcastle, all of a sudden it's positive news. So I see through the nonsense. To be honest, I saw through it a long time ago, and I realized that that it's even in terms of Abramovich. Apparently, Abramovich wanted Manchester United were the club that made him fall in love with football. Never mind anything. Yeah. He wanted to purchase Manchester United. Guess what? The price went extremely up because it was Abramovich that wanted Manchester United. When the Glazers came in, all of a sudden it was a lot easier for them to purchase Manchester United. So it was sabotage, you know, and I've learned to live with that. That the fact that we're always going to be sabotaged in some form or shape.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
I'll leave it
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Big up to Sol. I hope you're having a great time. Say hello to your dad for me. Hope you're having a great time in Spain. Sending love. Yeah, we're 13.4 4K now at the moment. That's what we are in terms of subscribers. We're shadow banned, but we don't give a damn. We always shout for Palestine. Stop the fucking genocide. Fuck Zionism. Fuck Zionism, the death cult. Fuck the entity, that so-called entity. Fuck fucking Israel. Fuck all the complicity in all Western fucking countries that are with the genocide and what's going on in the starvation of Palestinian children. And fuck YouTube as well. And fuck Google for letting the fucking Zionist bastard Israel doing adverts on my channel as well. People have been telling me they're doing adverts saying people are not starving. People are starving. You've been starving them for nearly a year and a fucking half. You absolute Nazis. You absolute fascists. Fuck you. Yeah, so big up, people. Big up. Let's see how many likes. Let's have a look at where we are on the poll. What's more important, a midfielder or a striker? 55% of you have said a midfielder. 45% of you have said striker. So it's quite close. Yeah, Luwani, last word from you, brother. Go ahead.
My last word here will be about Amorim. I believe he's one coach of United in a while that got 3/4 of a season of competitive game to be a preseason for him. Now he had one whole preseason to it. So next season he does not have any excuse. I know he told us last year that the storm is coming, and then he repeated the word again that we're going to suffer. Just by him lowering the expectation doesn't mean that he's fooling some of us. He need to sink. He needs to swim or he will sink, and I won't be sorry for him.
Yeah, big up, big up. Vinny Jr., is this a real question? Are you taking the piss, or is this a real question? Do you think the people of race are taking over Europe? No, we're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Don't believe the fucking hype. Don't believe the fascists. And big up to everybody who came out to stand against the fascists that were out in force today in Manchester. Big up to all the anti-fascist groups. Fuck the fucking police. My words. My word. They will pay for what they've done to us. Yeah, big up to you, Alien Tenno. Love. I hope you miss us as well. Sending love to her. Yeah, but here's what it is, people. So please let people know about the channel. Let your fellow other Manchester United fans let them know about the channel, because this is the headquarters of resisting Glazer, Ineos propaganda bullshit. Here we have real football conversations. I want to thank my brothers here, Luwani. So make sure you check him out on X, Moan Luwani 1979. And make sure you check out Lesso Football TV on X at Black Rain. Make sure you check him out. Sending love and big up to everybody. Big up to all the mods, Alien Tunnel, from Jamie Wayne to Alternative Facts to King Sol, to every one of you, Dan P, to Nathan, to every one of you who are watching this. Always appreciate it and never take it for granted. Every like, every subscribe, every comment on the video, and let us know, what do you think, those of you who are watching this later, what's more important to you, a midfielder or a striker? You've heard the debate. Both Lesso and Luwani, both of them are fans of Benjamin Sesko. Me less so. I was a couple of years ago. I'm not convinced by it. Somebody also wrote, I think it might have been our brother. It's just me. He said that Rasmus might be going for 30 million Manchester United. We're gonna have to see. There's a lot of speculations about him going the other way, but I think RB Leipzig want money. They don't want a player, even though apparently they want Rasmus. But yeah, all these are just reports, but we'll see what happens. But make sure you tune in tomorrow to Saeed TV. We'll be on there for the watch along. Those of you who are staying up with us, 10:30 UK time. We'll be there. We'll be live with Saeed TV doing a watch along, then a match reaction, and then we're gonna have a show with Saeed to break down the game a little bit. So, and then to comment on Manchester United tour in the US. But yeah, big up to everybody. Like I said, smash a like. Fuck Ineos. Fuck the Glazers. If you want to be down with them, then F you too. Like I said, stop the genocide, end the occupation, end the apartheid. And if you're aligning yourself with Zionism, then fuck you too. You're a fascist. Look inside your heart what they're doing to the Palestinians. Fuck all these so-called Arab leaders. Fuck all these so-called Muslim leaders around the world. You're nothing but pathetic fucking cowards. You're fucking cowards. Egypt government, you're a fucking coward. Jordan, you're fucking dogs. You're dogs. Free Syria, free Lebanon, free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan. The Sudan, the only difference between what we're seeing, how we can't see what's going on in the Congo, they don't have no internet infrastructure. What we can't see, the what's going on, the genocide, that is being pushed by the West and United Arab Emirates. In Sudan, we can't see it because they don't have internet infrastructure. We can see what's going on in Gaza because they've got internet infrastructure. Remember that, people. So yeah, keep your hearts and prayers in mind of the people of the Congo, people of Haiti, people of Sudan, people of Tigray, people of Ogaden, people everywhere battling against the oppressed. And yeah, free this fucking country from Starmer and fucking David Lammy. What are both fucking Zionist fucking bastards. Love and light, people. We will never compromise with the people. We stand up to all those who are oppressing people, indigenous people around the world. We'll stand up to all those people who are oppressing people because of their religion, their orientation, their gender, their just by being who they are, right? That's what we're against. We here in this channel, we push love, but we critique what's going on in the world. We will never stop talking about it. When people say, but this is a football channel, you shouldn't talk about politics. Every fucking thing is politics. Everything is politics. So yeah, love and light, people. Like I said, we'll be live tomorrow. And big up to everybody. We have hit 4, if I'm not mistaken, 13.4. So big up to King Saul and big up to everybody else for helping that with that. Love and light to you all. We'll be live. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Free fucking Palestine.